think of Jesus, may I share with you what the Lord has also revealed in this passage. First, there's a reference to the Old Testament in chapter 3, verse 14, where it says, as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up. Can I teach for a moment?
Oh, yeah.
When the Israelites were wandering in the wilderness, God sent a plague of serpents to punish the people for their rebellious attitudes. Those doomed to die from the snake bite could be healed by obeying God's command to look up at the elevated bronze serpent. And by believing that God would heal them, he did.
Yes.
Similarly, our salvation happens when we look up to Jesus, believing he will save us.
Yes.
God has provided this way for us to be healed of sin's deadly fight. Our job then as believers and as the church New Life is to lift up Jesus.
Yes. Yes.
So that those who are dying from the venom of sin may find an antidote of his precious blood. Our job is not to save. Our job is only to lift him up. And when we do, those who are perishing can look to him and live. Wonder who?
Amen.
Jesus himself declares, and I, if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all men unto me.
Oh, yeah.
This he said, signifying what death he should die. The lifting up here refers to the shame of death by crucifixion and the honor of resurrection. The implication here is that in lifting Jesus up, we may also experience humiliation. When one was crucified, they were impaled and raised to an elevated position, having been stripped and beaten for all to see, thereby adding to their suffering. When we lift Jesus up, though we may not be challenged to die physically, we may, however, be subjected to ridicule and oppression. However, like Jesus, for the sake of others, we must endure the shame and bear the ridicule. Note here also that Jesus being lifted up was also a precursor to his exaltation at the day of his resurrection. If we're also willing to sacrifice in our efforts to lift Jesus up, we shall also be exalted one day. We'll be lifted up one day. Wonder who will help me lift Jesus. When we lift Jesus up, there's three ways I want to suggest we do it. The first is we work.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Now, I know that's a bad word in some folks' minds. Especially some young folk. Young folk, I declare, just don't want to work. I don't know what it is. They finish high school, or some of them even finish high school. But the ones that do, you would expect them to go off to college or go into the military or go get a job. But you run into some of them and they ain't doing nothing but just chilling.
That's right. You're right, Pastor.
All I'm going to say to the parent that's putting food in that young man's mouth,
Go ahead now.
you better be the mama or the daddy and stop letting them just sit there and just chew.
Amen.
But you better make sure they go out and get a job. Work for those of us who want to lift Jesus up means that even though I may be a steward, there's more to working than accounting for the funds. Amen. Even though I may sing in the choir, there's more than singing Zion songs if I'm going to work to lift Jesus up.
That's right. Amen.
I may be the deaconess, but there's more than preparing to help administer the sacrament if I'm going to work to lift Jesus up. Yes, I'm an usher. I stand at the door. I man the post. I distribute the bulletins. I hand out the fans and direct the traffic. But there's more work to be done than just ushering at the door. Yeah, you're the trustee. Well, so what? You may be the one that pays the bills. That's all right. That's good. You may be the one that maintains the building and the grounds. You should maintain the buildings and the grounds if you're the trustee. But there's more to lifting him up and working if you want to do it the right way.
That's right.
Church, there's more than just having Women's Day and paying some money every now and then. There's more than just having a homecoming service and paying some money every now and then. There's more than just coming to church every Sunday.